Welcome. This is a data training video for the 25-27 Re-Engagement Opportunity Grant. The intended audience is both new and returning ROG grantees who are involved in collecting and reporting re-engagement data. The video is broken into parts. Part A is a quarterly reporting overview and covers some Smartsheet features. Part B covers the data gathered when the youth begins services or at their start date. And Part C covers the end date and end of program year data for participants. These training videos will have timestamps as well. So let's begin with Part A. Here is an illustration of what a complete quarterly data report looks like for quarters 1, 2, and 3 reporting. All active youth have all program entry data complete. These are the data elements collected when the youth begins the program. All inactive youth have all exit data completed as well. These are the data elements collected when the youth ceases their participation with the program. And so here you can see that 2 youth have end dates, so they have left the program. And they also have complete end date or end of year program information. Please note that both intake and exit interviews with program participants are needed to gather all re-engagement data required on the data report. So next, let's cover how you enter data. There's primarily 2 ways. One, you can type directly into the spreadsheet. There's different types of data entry here. Okay. And secondly, there is a attached data entry form. This is a data entry form for entering start date fields, okay? And so please note that if you do use a start date data entry form such as this one, then you still will need to access the data report to enter end date and end of year data elements directly onto the sheet. So at this point, I'd like to look at some of the features in Smartsheet that I think will help you. First, note that in the upper left-hand corner here, there is a save icon. Please remember to save your work before exiting Smartsheet. Also, you can see that there are scroll bars along the bottom and along the side. Also, you can freeze and unfreeze the columns where you would like simply by right-clicking on the on the column that you would like to remain visible, and then scroll down to freeze column. That will freeze the column. And similarly to unfreeze, click right and go down to unfreeze. And now we've taken off that. You can also sort by right-clicking on a column, go down to sort rows, ascending or descending, select OK. And you can also filter. Again, right-click, go down to filter, select the value or values, click apply. And to remove the filter, go up to the ribbon and select the filter icon in the ribbon to take off the filter. Another feature to be aware of is we have just column descriptions at the top of each column. And so hover over that information for helpful information, tips, and reminders. Of course, the data manual has complete descriptions and definitions, so make sure that you have the data manual available as you're completing the data report. All right, and so one more feature to make you aware of is you may have noticed the colors on the screen. And so this biennium, we're using some conditional formatting, and we're using it primarily in two ways. First is to indicate an error. So here, where I accidentally put a start date in the birth date column, I get this bright red and pink to indicate that there is an error that I should pay attention to on this sheet. Another way that we're using the conditional formatting is you can see that there's these colors beige and green and some blue. And so these are actually indicating the collection time of that particular data element. So beige is for data collected at start, and green is data which the time is not specified. It's really at placement or at achievement. And then blue is for the end date or end of year data. And with the gray in here, the gray is for the optional columns. So this concludes part A. Please continue to part B.